Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with the Radiance. We are getting close to the final exam that we have to take, and it does seem that we are getting the inkling that our history professor is not who he says he is. So let's go ahead and get started. Time for today's elective class. Okay, we've already done that. Logic and endurance. Okay, weekend. What should I do today? Okay, so this is the probably like one of the final times we get to like do this, because I don't know what happens. I believe the game is we have 12 weeks till the exam. I don't know if it's right at the beginning or not, so I really don't know. Composure and quickness are still down there at like 40. But I don't know that we'd have time. I guess we could try to get those up. Endurance is our highest by far. But perhaps we get something that we already have, like insight, control up maybe? Maybe we shouldn't focus so much on those two and work on getting these ones up a little more. Guess we try that, maybe. Let's charm, control, okay. I spend the afternoon practicing meditation. Close my eyes, take a deep breath, empty my thoughts. I think I'm getting better at blocking out the outside world. Okay. Okay, so we did control. Maybe that's now 60. Maybe we do insight. I guess let's do insight. Let's find insight. That's quickness. Classrooms are academics, theory, power. Okay, nothing down there. Endurance, composure. Okay, so it's not that one. I guess in here, insight. Okay. I spend the day relaxing and people watching in the school's cafe. After a few hours and a few cups of coffee, I feel like I understand my classmates even better. Okay, week 11. Time to pick my electives. We're doing the same electives. Insight and theory, power and control, quickness and composure, and then endurance and logic. Okay. We learn more about how astrology can be used to gain insights into ourselves and others, and how it can be applied to improve communication and deepen relationships. Okay, magic theory and insight, that's good. Alright, we continue to learn about the ancient methods of divining by earth. Okay, control and power, that's good. As I'm leaving the class building, I hear someone frantically whispering my name. I turn around and see nothing but a gaggle of students loitering in the hall. I wait another moment before moving on. Heather! I've turned the corner and the whisper happens again. This time I whip around and quickly see someone is crouching in the corner, waving their arms over their head. I approach cautiously. The hallway is still full of lingering students. But too many weird things have been happening lately for me to let my guard down. I have to get pretty close to the darkened corner before I see the face of Dex. Dex, what are you doing here? How did you get out? I'm an opener, didn't you know? Yeah, I guess I assumed they had some kind of something in place to keep you from just disappearing. They can't stop me from leaving, but they can track me once I'm gone. I had to wait until my guard took a bathroom break, but he won't be long, so I've got to be quick. They plan to send me to the council for questioning on Friday. That's only a day away. That's right, so I hope this helps you find the real culprit soon. He reaches into his thick coat and pulls out an envelope. What is this? It's another note from our mysterious somebody. I found it on the floor near the door of my room. Someone slipped it under there without the guards noticing. That's odd. I wonder how they managed that. Beats me, but I figured now you can use your special mind tricks to find out who the note belongs to. You're right. I'd almost forgotten about that. So you can really do it? Tell who wrote this note? Well, it worked once, but my powers aren't always consistent. Well, I hope it works this time, for both our sakes. A group of laughing students move down the hallway towards us. Any closer, and they'll catch sight of Dex. That's my cue to go. Good luck, Heather. Dex turns towards the nearest door, the Human Technology Club, I think, and opens it. Except inside is not the club room. It's his assigned solitary confinement room. I knew that Dex's ancestry allowed him to create portals to other places, but I had not seen it in action until now. I don't have long to stare at him in awe before he disappears behind the door without another word. The group of students fall silent as they pass me. I probably look pretty strange standing alone in a corner staring at a closed door. Note still clutched in my hand, I hurry off towards my room. Once I'm in the safety of my room, I open the envelope and pull out the folded note. It's too late to walk away. You must finish the job. This is your last warning. Geez, maybe Dex was right about being safer in lockdown. Dex didn't mention what his job required, and I didn't think to ask. Was it just getting me to leave the school or something more? Well, time to see if I can figure out who sent this. The last time I attempted this, I struggled to get a clear vision without aid. But that was weeks ago. I feel much stronger now, and my past success has given me renewed confidence. I get into my normal meditation position, cross-legged on the floor near the window. The sun is setting, bathing the room in a peaceful glow. I close my eyes and immediately a flood of images hit my mind's eye. I open my eyes, my head is throbbing, so many different glimpses and yet not a single person in any of them. The teacup could belong to Professor Mordain, but it's not exactly an uncommon item. But what about that door? I'm pretty sure I've never seen that door before, but it must mean something. And the potion bottle? Well, that could be anywhere. Maybe it's behind the mysterious door, or maybe it's somewhere completely different. Despite my more powerful mind, I now have less of an answer than I did on my first attempt weeks ago. I know from my studies that attempting the meditation with the same item twice is unlikely to yield different results. I need additional items for that, like another note from the same sender. This just means I need to be extra observant to find these items I've seen in real life. Tomorrow's history class may be a good opportunity to observe the professor. Part of me still hopes I'm wrong about him. Time to put on my detective hat. Looks like I'm becoming Nancy Drew after all. I enter the history classroom feeling uneasy, as if I'm afraid of what information I might find. I wait until the classroom is nearly full before entering. Rayla is already in her seat when I slip in next to her. Where have you been? Outside, avoiding the inevitable. You really think Mordain might have something to do with everything that's been going on? I think it's possible, but I don't have any proof, yet. I don't know if you should be digging around, Heather. If he's dangerous, who knows what he could do to you? That's just it. Whoever's behind all this, I don't think they can do much to me out in the open. I've got the protection of the headmaster. That's why they originally tried to get me to leave the school. The shadow monster stopped its attack before it could do any real harm. I think its main purpose was to scare me away. Maybe, but I just don't like it. I'll be fine. All I plan to do is ask him for tea and see if I can recognize something from my vision. You're going to have tea with him? Alone? It's nothing I haven't done before. I'm staying with you. What? You said you just wanted to observe him, right? Then me joining you for tea shouldn't hinder your plans. Rayla, this is my issue. I don't want to drag you into it. You're my best friend. Your issues are my issues. She throws her arms around me and pulls me in a firm embrace. Ow, you have a lot of strength for someone so small. That's the strength of friendship, Oracle. You can't resist it. Okay, you can stay with me. The rest of the class passes at a glacial pace. I find myself tapping my foot anxiously. I'm not sure what I am afraid of. I don't expect Professor Mordain to attack me right here in the classroom. Maybe I'm afraid to find out he is responsible. I don't want my suspicions to be correct. When the lesson is over and students begin streaming out of the room, I approach Professor Mordain with Rayla at my heels. Miss Ash! Miss Bolanos, what can I do for you two? I was hoping maybe you had time for some tea. The lemon tea you gave me really helped me out last time. Of course, please sit down. Miss Bolanos, would you like tea as well? Rayla gives a stiff nod. She's not very good at keeping her emotions off her face, but the professor doesn't seem to notice. He rummages around in his desk and produces 3 cups. The cups are white flowered china, just like my vision, but these are also the same cups they used in the cafeteria. It's just not enough to go on. I'm just so glad you're feeling better after your ordeal. We didn't get to discuss it much last time, but you must be relieved now that the culprit is being sent for questioning. Maybe you can finally get some answers that will give you some peace of mind. I sip on my tea to keep myself from having to comment on this statement. Rayla sits with her arms folded, tea untouched. It's probably better that she stays silent in this conversation. I just can't believe one of our own, a student of Sarenvale, could be capable of such behavior. Of course, I've heard about his family situation, but I thought Professor Balin's judgment of the student was sound. I guess even the headmaster can make mistakes. He stirs his tea idly as he speaks, and it's not until he sets the cup down on the table that a shock runs through me. This is it, the swirling of the liquid in the cup. The angle of the handle. This is what I saw. This is from the vision. I nearly choke on my tea and Rayla stands up from her seat, alarmed. Oh dear, are you all right? Professor Mordain finally notices Rayla, a look of confusion on his face at her outburst. I need to get us out of here before he starts getting suspicious. Yes, I am fine. I just drank a little too fast, I think. We'd better go. Rayla has a quiz to study for. Right, Rayla? Rayla nods and we hurry out of the room without waiting for a response. As soon as we're safe distance from the classroom, Rayla stops me. What happened? Did you see something? The teacup matched my vision exactly. Does this mean Professor Mordain is guilty? Oh God, I don't know. I'm not sure a teacup is enough proof to go on. What else did you see in your vision? A room with an old wooden door, maybe an office of some kind? I don't know any teacher that has an office like that. It's probably not an official office, more like a secret hideout. Okay, so we search the school until we find the secret hideout. Or I could let him lead me to it. How? I could follow him. If I catch him going to the room from my vision, that's even more proof he's the one who sent those letters. I know, Heather. That seems awfully risky. Maybe you should just report it to Professor Balin. Part of your vision came true. He will take your concerns seriously. You might be right. Of course I'm right. The headmaster is way better equipped to deal with a rogue professor than we are. Promise me you will at least try to let the authorities handle it before you go rushing into danger. Promise! Okay, I promise. Tomorrow's my Azurite class, so I'll be seeing Professor Balin anyway. I'll hold off until I can talk to him. Okay, good. Now I'm exhausted. Want to skip the rest of your classes and go hang out in the courtyard? Not a chance. I still have one last council test to think about. Ugh, fine. I guess I'll go to my class too, even though skipping would be much more fun. Today's elective? While I've now learned that the type of brush or pen used in calligraphy has different magical properties, the type of paper used can also be significant. Using paper made from a certain plant or tree will have a special meaning and can generate a unique energy. Professor Balin is not in Azurite class today. As usual, Arian is presenting to our class in the headmaster's absence, though he seems particularly on edge, a rarity for the usually stoic oculi. There's also more commotion in the classroom than usual. Students are huddled together, whispering to each other. I lean over towards the girl sitting in front of me. Lyra, what's going on? What's everyone whispering about? You didn't hear? The headmaster has fallen ill. That's why he's not in class today. He's sick? Is it serious? Not sure. I've heard conflicting stories. You know how gossip spreads around this place. Do I ever? Please cease your chatter so we may begin the lesson. A student near the front shoots his hand up. Arian does not look pleased. Yes, Mr. Zevi? Is it true the headmaster is dying? A few gasps erupt around the classroom, including one from my own mouth. Dying? Arian has to wait for several moments before the students calm down enough for him to speak. No, the headmaster is not dying. Please do not spread such misinformation. And what's going on? I heard he's been ill all week. Once again, this is news to me. How could I not have heard about this? I've been so caught up in my own affairs. Since it is becoming clear that this class will not continue in its current state, I shall share some information with you. Though as students you shall not be privy to all information. Professor Balin is indeed ill, but there is nothing to worry about. His personal doctor has arrived and is directly overseeing his care. More whispers travel across the room, though they are less frantic this time. A student behind me whispers loudly to her friend. My numerology professor told us it was a poison. Poison? I catch myself turning towards the girl, worry washing over me. Yeah, some rare kind. The school nurse didn't even recognize it. Could that be true? Poison doesn't seem like some accidental illness. And it also seems awfully familiar. I don't get a chance to ask the girl for more information as Arian raps loudly on the podium, demanding our attention. I can't concentrate, however. Something about the nature of the headmaster's illness is bothering me. Perhaps I can visit his office later and get some more information. Okay, elective. Today's lesson goes a bit more in depth on how to use symbolism in divination practices. It's important to be able to recognize symbols in order to get an accurate reading. Much to my surprise, we use the human-made tarot card as an example of how symbols are used to make predictions. The card is one of the few divination practices that Radiance adopted from humans. I have little hope that I'll be allowed to see Professor Balin, but that doesn't stop me from rapping on the door to his chambers. I'm particularly surprised when the door opens almost immediately. However, it is not Professor Balin that answers, but Arian. My heart beats a little faster at the sight of him, but now is not the time. Heather, what are you doing here? I need to see the headmaster. You know that the headmaster is ill and he cannot accept visitors. What's this all about? I have something to tell him. It's really important. Then you can tell me. Of course I can share my suspicions with Arian. He will know what to do. Is it true Professor Balin was poisoned? Surprise registers on Arian's face. He clearly did not expect me to know about that. It is true, but where did you hear this? I heard some other students talking about it. I suppose word travels fast, but there is nothing for you to worry about. The headmaster is receiving the best care. It's not that, it's just, this is going to sound crazy. You can tell me. Well, I have reason to believe someone else was also poisoned recently, and it might be the same person. Who was poisoned? Sebel, the former oracle? Where did you get this idea? I asked Samia to tell me how Sebel died. I needed to know. She told me there was poison found in her system. The council secretary told you this? I think she wanted me to feel more at ease with the situation. She thought me knowing her cause of death would make me feel better or something. And did it? I'm not sure. She says it was an accident, but... I trail off, wondering if I just sound paranoid. Arian reaches out to me, his warm touch a calming presence. After what you've been through, I can certainly understand your concern, but the headmaster's doctors have not indicated that foul play was involved. Again with this accidental poisoning crap. How often do accidental poisonings occur? Well, what does Professor Balin say? Does he know if someone might have poisoned him? He's not saying anything at the moment, as he is currently not awake. What? Please do not repeat that. We do not want hysteria in the halls. Okay, I won't. But since we're talking about it, any chance you can tell me what kind of poison it was? Once the headmaster's private doctor arrived, she was able to discern the nature of the toxins in his system, a plant called monkshood. Monkshood? Oh. Is that not the answer you were expecting? I just thought maybe it would be the same poison that killed Sebel. And what would that prove? It could prove that the person that poisoned Sebel may have also poisoned the headmaster. Sebel's death was ruled an accident. That's what they say, but I'm not so sure. I must tell you that it would be extremely difficult for someone to poison the headmaster without getting caught. They also said the same thing about the Oracle. Arian gives me a long look and then pulls me closer to him, but still at a respectable distance. We are in an open hallway after all, and a relationship between the headmaster's assistant and a student would likely cause equal hysteria. When he continues, his voice is soft, comforting. If the healers suspect foul play, there will be an investigation. Until then, I don't want you assuming the worst. Despite his soft tone, I sense that this is my cue to stop asking questions. But you'll let me know what they say? Of course. But remember, this information does not go past us. My lips are sealed. Suddenly, I remember something else I had planned to ask the headmaster. There's one more thing. What happened to Dex? What do you mean? I heard he was being sent to the council today for questioning. Oh, that. Well, with this new development regarding the headmaster's health, they put the matter on hold. So he's still locked up here at Sarenvale? That is my understanding, yes. Poor Dex. I know now that he is not guilty, but he's still being treated like a criminal. Is everything all right? I don't think Dex is guilty. I think whoever has been after me is the same person that poisoned the headmaster. If Dex is innocent, that will come out in his investigation. Will it, though? I'm not so sure. I understand your concern, but there's nothing you can do for Dex or Professor Balin. For now, you need to trust the authorities. I nod, but don't reply. Of course, Arian is going to side with the lawful approach. However, I'm not so sure I agree. Arian gives my shoulder a squeeze, then retreats back into the office, and I'm left alone in the hallway. Something doesn't feel right about all this. Sure, the same poison doesn't need to have been used for it to be the same culprit, but it sure makes it harder to prove. I need to do some more digging. Rayla, have you heard of a plant called monkshood? That doesn't ring a bell. What kind of plant is it? A poisonous one, apparently. Let me check my handy-dandy encyclopedia of plants. She pulls out an absolutely enormous book and flips to the index. Monkshood, monkshood. Are you sure that's what it's called? Pretty sure. Not finding it in the list of poisons either. Could Arian have been wrong about the name? No, I doubt Arian has ever been wrong about anything in his life. Then an idea strikes me. Does that book include plants found outside Paralin? You mean like human plants? Nah, that's an entirely different book. Rayla replaces one giant tome with another. I haven't spent quite as much time reading this one. The human plants aren't nearly as interesting. No offense. None taken. Here it is. The monkshood plant is an herbaceous wildflower that can be found growing in the mountain meadows throughout the northern hemisphere. Also known as wolfsbane, monkshood is notorious for its toxic properties, as it contains the poison aconitine. It also says several ancient Greek rulers were thought to have been murdered with this poison. Dang, humans are harsh, huh? Rayla continues to muse over the evil uses of poison in ancient Greece, but I'm only somewhat listening. Contains the poison aconitine. That certainly sounds like aconite to me. Can you look up aconite? Sure, it's the more scientific name for monkshood. Ooh, they also call it the Queen of Poisons. I like that name much better. So my suspicions were correct. This is the same poison that was found in the former Oracle system when she died. This can't be a coincidence. Why do you want to know all this anyway? You got a project coming up? I want to tell Rayla what I learned about the headmaster's illness, but I promised to keep my mouth shut, so I remained vague. Something like that. Can I borrow that book? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been a year since I've even opened the thing. Thanks. This information could help me prove the connection between the headmaster's illness and the Oracle's death. Keeping this book close could be useful. Alright, well, this is where I'm going to go ahead and end today. We shouldn't have much longer in the game, but it is kind of ramping up for us. So that is going to be everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!